Ever pondered how the Roman Empire, one of the most powerful civilizations in history, came into existence? Let's dive into the birth of an empire, a tale that begins over 2,700 years ago. In the heart of Italy, nestled between seven hills, the city of Rome was founded in 753 BC. It's a story steeped in legend, where Romulus and Remus, the twin sons of Mars, the god of war, played pivotal roles. Romulus, after a bitter dispute, emerged victorious, founding the city and becoming its first king. But Rome was not an empire yet. It was a monarchy, and the seeds of the empire were yet to be sown. Those seeds were planted in 509 BC, with the overthrow of the last Roman king. This act ignited a spark that would change the course of history. The Romans, tired of monarchic rule, established a republic, a radical idea in an era dominated by kings and queens. The Roman Republic was a beacon of democracy, a state where power was not inherited, but earned. The Senate, a political institution, held the power, and it was here that the policies shaping Rome's future were crafted. The Senate was composed of patricians, Rome's noble class, who held the reins of the Republic. The plebeians, the common folk, though initially excluded, gradually earned political representation. This balance of power between the patricians and plebeians was a unique feature of the Roman Republic, a testament to Rome's evolving political landscape. The Republic was not without its challenges. It faced internal strife, wars, and even a couple of sackings. But each trial and tribulation only made the Republic stronger, molding it into a resilient, formidable force. This period of the Republic saw Rome's expansion across the Italian peninsula, and gradually, Rome started to flex its muscles beyond its borders. The Republic had set the stage for the empire, demonstrating Rome's potential as a dominant power. Thus, the groundwork for what would become the Roman Empire was laid. This was just the beginning of a story that would span centuries, a story of power, conquest, and legacy. The tale of the Roman Empire is a testament to Rome's indomitable spirit, a spirit that would echo through the ages. So, how did the Roman Republic morph into the formidable Roman Empire? Well, let's take a step back to the late Roman Republic. The stage was set for a seismic shift in power, with one man at the epicenter, Julius Caesar. A military genius and political mastermind, Caesar was a force to be reckoned with. His conquest of Gaul extended Rome's reach to the Atlantic Ocean, and his victory in the civil war against Pompey solidified his power. But absolute power can be a dangerous thing. Caesar's ascension didn't sit well with everyone. In fact, it led to his downfall. On the Ides of March, 44 BC, Caesar was assassinated in the Senate by those who feared his growing influence. The conspirators hoped to restore the Roman Republic, but they only plunged Rome into another civil war. Out of this chaos emerged a new player, Caesar's adopted heir, Octavius. Young and relatively unknown, he was not initially perceived as a threat. But underestimating Octavius was a monumental mistake. He was cunning and ruthless, eliminating his rivals one by one. After defeating Mark Antony and Cleopatra in the Battle of Actium, Octavius stood unopposed. In 27 BC, Octavius, now known as Augustus Caesar, marked a new era for Rome. He cleverly presented himself not as a monarch, but as a servant of the state. He held the title of Princeps, or First Citizen, and the Senate granted him the title of Augustus, the revered one. The Roman Republic was no more. In its place, the Roman Empire, with its first emperor, had emerged. Augustus laid the foundation of a regime that lasted, in one form or another, for nearly 1,500 years. He transformed Rome with magnificent public buildings and created a system of government that Rome had never seen before. His reign marked the beginning of one of history's greatest empires. And thus the Roman Empire, a titan of its time, was born. What made the Roman Empire so influential and dominant, you might ask? The answer lies in a period known as the Golden Age, a time of peace, prosperity, and unprecedented growth. At the heart of this Golden Age was the Pax Romana, a 200-year span of relative peace and stability that stretched from the reign of Augustus through to Marcus Aurelius. This era was marked by an absence of major conflicts, allowing the empire to focus its energies on internal development and expansion. But the Pax Romana was more than just a time of peace. It was also a period of extraordinary advancements in various fields. Roman architecture, for instance, reached new heights. The Romans perfected the use of concrete, revolutionizing the way buildings were constructed. They built roads and aqueducts that crisscrossed the empire, facilitating trade and communication. And who could forget the iconic structures like the Colosseum, a testament to their architectural prowess? The Golden Age was also a time of cultural flourishing. Roman literature blossomed with authors like Virgil and Ovid penning epic poems and intricate tales. Their works not only entertained but also provided insights into the values and beliefs of the Romans. And then there was Roman law, a complex system of legal codes and principles that have influenced legal systems around the world. The Romans believed in the rule of law, in justice, and in the rights of the individual. Their legal system, like their architecture, left a lasting legacy. In the Golden Age, the Roman Empire was more than just a military and political powerhouse. It was a vibrant, thriving society that valued peace, knowledge, and the rule of law. It was a place where art, architecture, literature, and law were not just appreciated, but celebrated. And so, the Roman Empire was not just powerful, but also a cradle of culture and innovation. Its influence extended far beyond its borders, shaping the world as we know it today. As we reflect on this golden age, we can't help but marvel at the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of the Romans. But how did such a vast and powerful empire come to an end? A question that has puzzled historians for centuries. Well, it wasn't a single event, but rather a series of complex factors that led to the fall of the Roman Empire. Let's start with the economic troubles. The Roman Empire, at its peak, was a thriving economic powerhouse. But as the empire expanded, it became increasingly difficult to manage. The cost of maintaining roads, bridges, aqueducts, and public buildings was staggering. Inflation soared as emperors devalued the Roman currency to meet expenses. The economy was further strained by heavy taxation, leading to widespread discontent among the populace. Then there was the over-reliance on slave labor. Slaves were integral to Rome's economy and society, but their use had a downside. As the supply of slaves dwindled, so did the productivity of various sectors, notably agriculture. This led to food shortages and further economic instability. The military overspending was another significant factor. Rome's vast borders required a large standing army, which was a heavy drain on the empire's resources. The military was also riddled with corruption, with soldiers often more loyal to their generals than to Rome. This led to frequent power struggles and contributed to political instability. Last, but certainly not least, was the rise of the Eastern Empire. As Rome declined, the Eastern Empire, with its capital at Constantinople, grew in prominence. The division of the empire strained Rome's resources and made it vulnerable to attacks. In the end, the fall of the Roman Empire was a slow process, marked by a series of crises and recoveries. It wasn't so much that Rome was defeated by an external enemy, but rather that it crumbled under the weight of its own complexity, unable to adapt to changing circumstances. And so, the mighty Roman Empire fell, marking the end of an era. What remains of the Roman Empire today? The answer is all around us. The Roman Empire, a civilization that existed over 2,000 years ago, has left an indelible mark on the world that can still be felt today. From the way we structure our societies to the words we use in our everyday conversations, the Roman Empire's influence is ever-present and far-reaching. Let's start with the legal realm. Many of the principles and concepts that form the bedrock of Western legal systems originated in Rome. The idea of innocent until proven guilty, that's a Roman innovation. The concept of a written constitution as a guiding document for a nation's laws, again, thank the Romans. Their legal system was so advanced that it continues to shape how justice is administered today. Moving on to government, the Romans were trailblazers in the field of political administration. The Roman Republic was one of the earliest examples of representative government, where elected officials acted on behalf of the people. This system of governance remains a cornerstone of many modern democracies. In the realm of art and architecture, the Romans were nothing short of revolutionary. They perfected the use of concrete, built vast networks of roads and aqueducts, and created iconic architectural styles that are still emulated today. From the Colosseum to the Pantheon, their monumental structures inspire awe and admiration, influencing architects across the centuries. And let's not forget about language. Latin, the language of the Romans, is the mother tongue of the Romance languages, which include Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian. It's also deeply embedded in the scientific, legal, and religious lexicons, making its presence known every time we discuss flora or fauna, habeas corpus, or ex post facto, or even the Hail Mary. Though the Roman Empire has long since fallen, its echoes can still be heard in the foundations of our modern world. And that, my friends, is the true legacy of Rome, a civilization that continues to shape and inspire us even 2 millennia after its demise.